So we have this new Iron Fist, and the problem is, once again, they're creating a problem that's not there. That me personally, who I do like Iron Fist, I especially liked when Matt Fraction did his thing with it. I'm not reading it. I think Ali Wong is writing the new story. He's supposed to have a couple different abilities with the Iron Fist and whatnot. And I know there's probably some people like, well, why won't you read it? Because I seen like an article, I think it was Comic Book Resources or something, and I remember when Iron Fist first came out, there was a bunch of people that, I'm talking about the Netflix show, there was a bunch of people that kept doing in some of their reviews, their big problem was, why isn't he Asian? So somehow this translated into, that must mean there's a problem with the white savior complex. Okay. Now, I am a person who studied martial arts. I studied Taekwondo and Shinmu Hapkido years ago. I stopped roughly training in my 20s. Mid-20s, I think. You're going to sit here and your way of fixing this is saying, by your definition, I am doing cultural appropriation because I am a black man who studied another culture's fighting style. 2 fighting styles, actually. Right. Because, and by the way, I know Asian people. I, visited Japan. I know a couple people. They all think it's weird that we keep worrying about this kind of thing. First off, most people do not know who Danny Rand is. I do. Back when I was younger, the first black superhero I ever was introduced was to Luke Cage. At the time when I was introduced to him, it was AKA Power Man. He had the 70s look. It was him, Spider-Man, and Storm, and it was an anti-drug comic book. But I remember the first character I saw on there was Power Man because it was sticking out, and I was like, who is that? And then I saw Storm. And inside the comic or whatever, I was like, oh, I want to know more about this character. He seems to have super strength. He's a black guy. Oh, really cool. It's a black superhero. So then when I looked for the comic, the very first comic I've seen of his was Heroes for Hire. And it was a book from the 70s. I did not like Iron Fist's collar, because I just think large collars are kind of dumb. I didn't like Nightwing's either. His one costume, I liked everything about it except for the popped up collar. I just always thought that was stupid. Just like I can't stand pirate boots. If you're thinking of what I mean by pirate boots, look at Captain America when they have those boots and they're folded down. Captain America currently wears them. Other characters have worn them. Like, I hate those. So, that's just my own personal aesthetic issue. Back to the point at hand. The Netflix show got maybe some people to know who Danny Rand is. And you get people like me who like Danny Rand. But for all intents and purposes, most people do not know who Danny Rand is. So, this is not me complaining about Danny Rand being the Iron Fist, even though I personally don't like that they keep trying to find ways to change Danny Rand. I've read some Iron Fist in my day. I like Danny Rand. I like Danny Rand's interaction with Luke Cage, and I really liked how Fraction did the character. Now, they want to pass the mantle, which it is a mantle, to someone else. Fine. If that's what you want to do. I don't personally like it, but I understand it, which in turn is I'm not opposed to the idea. I just like Danny Rand being Iron Fist, and I like my comic book characters a lot of times being my comic book characters, but I do understand sometimes a mantle needs change, and it all depends on what the procedure is behind it. Now, if they were like, hey, Danny Rand has decided that it's time to move on from the Iron Fist for what it did to his life or anything like that, and he decided to train the next Iron Fist, instead of not just having them at Kunlun, but to teach them what he learned, and maybe this Iron Fist can use his experiences to be the best Iron Fist of today, or something like that. Cool. All right, they've done that kind of story before, where heck, Batman Beyond, Bruce Wayne trained Terry McGinnis. Great story. Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze trained Danny Ketch to a degree. Great story. Like, it can work, and it can work well. Spider-Man, Peter Parker, from time to time, has teamed up and trained Miles Morales to some degrees. So it can work, and it can be a very interesting story. The new Spider-Man game is, I think, going to be about that, where they're working together. So where they screw up, then I see this stuff. White Savior, we had to fix the White Savior. Now that we fix the White Savior to make them Asian. All right, there's a news flash, and this is from someone that's known people that know people from Korea, India, Sri Lanka, Japan. I met a few people. There's Chinese people. I used to talk to a girl that actually was worked at Disney World for a while in the histories of the world. She used to talk to us a lot about culture and stuff. They don't like that. When you take a person who knows martial arts and automatically make them Asian because that's the right way to do it, that is, in all intents and purposes, a racist thought pattern. That's like taking every street level superhero and going, they gotta be a thug with that rap music, they gotta be hood, they gotta have their pants down. Like, what? That's not how that works. So you did not you created a problem that shouldn't have been a problem in the first place. Even if you wanted it to be an Asian person, the way it's being pushed is that you're trying to fix a problem because of the white savior complex. Now, what cracks me up is, okay, why is it that it's always only a white thing for savior complex? Now, you can try to say, oh, it's because the white heroes save anyone. Okay, let me ask you a question. If you are in a burning building, or if somebody has you as a hostage situation, do you care what race of the person that is saving you? Are you like, nah, yo, I'm black, you ain't black, I need a black guy to save me from the burning building. Go outside and get the black guy. No. What you care about is, did you save me? Because and I'm not saying that we're not supposed to have representation in comic books. What I'm saying is that too many people are making an overly big deal about it, and it doesn't need to be. Also, too, comic books as a whole do not handle their diverse characters very well to begin with. Their way of handling a diverse character is throwing the character into the mantle of a white person, then writing a story, then getting upset when people don't like the story because that's not what people asked for, and then turning around and calling everybody a name of some sort instead of actually doing a better story. Or, I don't know, maybe keep the character as who they are and actually tell an awesome story with that character and start building up those characters. Once again, I said it in multiple videos if you watched it. Dreamer is a perfect example of a diversity character done right. Dreamer is incredible. Dreamer is awesome. So for any loser that tries to sit there and go, oh, you're trying to say this, you're wrong. I like diverse characters. I want a variety of characters. I don't want the same ice cream all the time. I sometimes want chocolate. Sometimes I want strawberry. Sometimes I want Napoleon. Sometimes I want chocolate chip. And sometimes I want Oreo. This works for comic books too. And you need to promote them as equally. You need to push these characters, but not shut down other characters or put in all your politics to push these said characters. You just need to tell awesome stories. You know why Miles Morales has gotten really popular? Ain't because of the comic. It's because of how they handled him in the movie. Because he was handled excellently. He was black in every sense of the word, but was able to balance being a great character also in every sense of the word. And I think it's quite insane that they can't seem to wrap their heads around this situation. So now I'm not interested, because no matter how good, and I know there's other people who aren't going to be interested, because no matter how good of a story you write, it's always going to be people thinking that you're doing some weird apology toward or fix a problem that really technically never was an issue to begin with. Characters are allowed to be white. Also, just because someone is a martial artist does not mean they're doing cultural appropriation. And it's really weird how I've been to now at least 2 other countries, with Philippines and Japan, both Asian countries, and they think the appropriation thing is kind of weird. Your way of fixing the problem is to be the problem that you created, because you're trying to say it's racist. So here's how this goes. The comic is not going to sell well. There are going to be people who, and Marvel's going to probably try to promote it like, this is the best. I have no idea how this Miss Wong writes. I don't know, or whoever Wong is. I'm sorry if I offended. I don't know anything that much about you. You can be a great writer. I hope you are. But doing a comic book with the idea specifically saying that Danny Rand, the original character, is wrong. Now, he's supposed to be a mentor, but your base behind it is, we need to fix this problem. We need to fix this problem. Danny Rand wasn't a problem. He was a good character. There's a lot of comic book fans who don't really know Danny Rand, don't know what he's been up to recently or anything. I do. But that's because I'm a weird person who loves a lot of comic book characters. Just like I can't stand the argument when people do the thing about their way of doing an argument about race swapping is, well, what if Black Panther was white? Okay, Casper Cole was Jewish and African American. His father was African American. His mom was Jewish, and he took a lot of his mom's look. You see him on the screen right now. I could show this. I've actually done this before. I've shown his character to people, because he becomes White Tiger later, I think. If I remember correct, I think he becomes White Tiger later. And people were like, that's a white dude. When people do this cultural appropriation, the issue is race swapping is not the answer. If you wanted to just do another Iron Fist and pass the mantle, fine. Even if it was an Asian person, fine. It could have been a woman. It could have been anybody. But the fact that you specifically pushed it to say you needed to fix a problem now made me lose all interest in it, because I like Danny Rand, and I like Danny Rand in Heroes for Hire. And now you're doing the thing, taking a character I like and trying to say they're bad. Stop putting this crap in comics. Stop with the white savior and the wokeness. If you're going to be diverse, be diverse. I might even do a video about it, because you're not doing a good job. But this is now tainted, because I'm not going to buy the book. I was actually excited. I was like, oh man, Danny Rand's going to be Iron Fist no more. He's going to train a new Iron Fist. I was actually interested in this. I was like, yo, let's see where this goes. I mean, I don't like that he's not Iron Fist, but that doesn't mean I don't have to like everything to do it. The new Iron Fist could be cool. Just like when they did the new Power Man and Luke Cage. Why didn't they make Power Man a different color? Isn't that a problem? Doesn't he represent the Harlem area? So since he represents the Harlem area, he's a black savior to much of the culture, and the problem, he's not a good example for black people. So maybe you should have made him a Puerto Rican person. You see how that sounds really screwed up? When you take the white out the equation? Nothing wrong with Luke Cage. I was using that as an example to show how ridiculous this thought pattern is. Do better. The comic's probably not going to sell. Not because I don't wish it to sell. I want Iron Fist to be a thing. I was hoping Netflix season 2 was better. Actually, it was a lot better. I actually liked it. But season 1 sucked. And I really wish they would have... they would do something more with Danny Rand to push this character. But I feel like now when we see Iron Fist in the movies, or in a future project, they're going to try to use this version, and I'm going to have no interest in it. It should be Danny Rand first. Tell me what you think. Are you going to buy this comic book or whatnot? Geek Protagonist, you stay safe, you stay healthy, you stay real. And I'll see you.